Well, it looks like I'm live here. I don't know who's here. Looks like I have a couple people here viewing, so if you want to go ahead and send me a message so I know who's here, we can have a little chat. This is something a little different. Not used to this, but we're gonna do this. So I guess today I'm just gonna try to go through some things that maybe you can look for over the next couple days while we're doing this. And none of this stuff is required, but if you're looking for a little distraction or you want to learn something or review something from earlier in the year, just go ahead and let me know. I'm open for questions. You can use the chat function here on the live video. So let me know who's here. I'm just gonna, and I'll answer questions as we're going through too. If you have them, let me know. All right, so what I think I would like to show you guys today, just for a little bit, is just some of the things I'm going to be doing, where to find information and stuff like that. So one of the things that you're going to want to know is if you are looking to do some makeup work, work that is already graded and you missed, you just didn't turn in, I'm going to put that stuff here on Schoology in a little bit. I don't have it up there yet, but I'm going to have it right here on the homepage, and it will be labeled as alternate assignment. So if you missed the radiation lab, I'll put a folder on here that'll say radiation lab alternate assignment, and you can do that, and you can submit it through Schoology and turn it in for full credit. Okay. Also, some things on here each day when I do one of these little webcasts, these little streams, I'm going to have a folder for that day, and in that folder you'll find some of the resources that I used in that webcast. So today is on severe weather. So just in here I have the link to the Prezi that we're going to be looking at today, and then I have some information on your textbook and the resources in there, and then I also have just a little creative writing, something to do, something we can share with each other. Should be interesting to see what we get here, and I'll go through all that in just a little bit. So just trying to see, I got a couple of Caleb's here. All right, it looks like Torrin's here. Cool, good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. What I figured we'd do today is just talk about some severe weather stuff. We've been talking about tornadoes and hurricanes, so we might as well just go through this. Just a couple minutes. If you have questions, shoot them to me there on the live stream, and I'll let you know. It's kind of a one-way communication, but if you ask me those questions, I hopefully will be able to answer them for you. So, like I said, nothing new. Just a couple things that I talked about in class. We'll review today, and one other thing before I start this little Prezi here, this is the one that's on Schoology, and there are links to YouTube videos in here. I don't want to show them to you on the live webcast. You can just go through the presentation later and check out the short little videos. They're pretty informative. But as far as your textbook resources go, if you log into your textbook using Schoology, you can get to, just like we do in class, you can get to all this free stuff that you have through your textbook about severe weather. So let me just let this load up here real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about while that's loading. Check back here and see if you guys have any questions for me. Are you supposed to be here if you're from Mrs. O'Neill? That's a good question. Sure, you're allowed to be here. I'm not going to tell anybody they can't be here. Why not? Join the fun. Who is it, by the way, from Mrs. O'Neill's class, just so I know? You can just let me that right there if you don't mind. So this is still loading, so we'll let it load up. But what I want to show you is, I have a picture of it in here. When you get in there today, if you want to go through whenever you want to, here are some textbook resources that you guys can use if you want to. Right there is the severe weather and in weather safety. There's a digital lesson. There's a lab. Have fun with that. Very informative. And also any of these little paint splotches over here are links to really, really cool stuff that you can do. That's all part of our textbook. There's some labs you can do at home. You can listen to the chapter. Again, I'm not requiring you to do any of this. If you want to, do it. If you don't, I'm not making you do anything. This is something we're all trying to go through together. We're all learning. It's new for us every day too. So let's go ahead and get started with our severe weather Prezi. Let me see if that person checked in first to see if I know who it is from Mrs. O'Neill's class. All right, Callie's here. Oh, Mina's in the house too. All right, good. Glad people are here. That's awesome. That makes me really happy. So, just going to go through. Let's talk about some severe weather. Just a couple things. So, one of the things that people tend to ask me about is lightning. Well, how does lightning form? Lightning is the exact same thing that you produce when you rub your socks across the carpet and you go over and you touch someone, you get that little zap. It's the exact same thing as lightning. So it's a buildup of static electricity. So it's got negative energy coming down from the cloud, meets positive energy coming up from the ground. You need two parts for lightning, something coming down and something coming up. That negative energy coming down from the cloud is called a step leader, and the positive energy coming up from the ground is called a streamer. And when they meet, you get lightning. And the two kinds of lightning we usually see are cloud to cloud and cloud to ground. And one thing, you cannot have thunder without lightning. So if you hear thunder, there was lightning. That's 100% true. So just a little diagram here. When you rub your feet across the carpet, you're building up negative charges in your body. And when you touch somebody, you're stealing negative charges from them. All right, everything wants to balance out. So this is called a step leader. This is called a streamer. And when they meet, we get that lightning bolt. It's actually pulling electricity from the ground up to the clouds. You're actually seeing lightning strike up. And the sound of thunder is the air around that lightning bolt. It gets so hot so fast, and we know that air expands when it gets hot, right? Those molecules move so quickly and so fast that it actually breaks the sound barrier, and you're hearing a sonic boom from the molecules of air moving because of the lightning. Pretty crazy. All right, there's that little video you can go watch if you want to check it out in the Prezi online. So another kind of severe weather, blizzard. Just because it's snowing hard does not mean it's a blizzard. All right, it has to meet all of the following criteria. Temperatures below 20 degrees. All right, the wind has to be 35 miles an hour or higher. Snow has to be falling. And it has to be low visibility, meaning you can't really see very far. All right, and when you get a special kind of blizzard, it's called a nor'easter. You get warm, moist air coming up from the south, and you get strong winds coming from the northeast. You get it's moving towards the northeast. It's called a nor'easter. All right, those are the biggest snowfalls of the year that we get. Didn't have any this year though. So flooding. All right, since we live by the Susquehanna River, we have some flooding. All right, there's two kinds of floods, and this can be creeks, streams, rivers. All right, any flowing body of water. We have a flash flood. Okay, sometimes you'll get a flash flood warning on TV. You just get excessive rain really fast, and creeks and rivers overflow their banks for several hours. It happens really quickly. Little creeks and streams are most susceptible to flash flooding. The Susquehanna River does not flash flood because it's so deep. The Susquehanna River floods. It's such a wide river and has such a basin where the water flows that we get excessive rain or snow, and those last for days or weeks. When the Susquehanna River overflows and floods, that takes a lot longer for all that water to get back in there than it does for a flash flood on a smaller creek. Okay, tornadoes. Let me just see if anybody's checking in here before I go on to tornadoes. Looks like we have a couple other people here. All right, guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them to me on here. That's totally fine with me. I'm glad no snow days too, Torin. Yeah, this is unprecedented stuff here, and it's kind of interesting to see what we're all going to do, but I'm glad you guys are here doing this with me right now. That's pretty cool. So, tornadoes. We here in the United States have the highest number of tornadoes in the world. If you remember when I talked about the air masses colliding in the middle of the United States, that's why. And right there in the middle of the United States where those air masses collide, it's called Tornado Alley. We get warm and moist air from the Gulf of Mexico. Cold, dry air from the Rockies comes together, all right, and creates those cumulonimbus clouds where we get really, really strong storms, hail, tornadoes. They're usually less than a mile wide, okay? They form in cumulonimbus clouds. And the enhanced Fujita scale, not fajita scale. That might be what I have for dinner, but Fujita scale. That measures the tornado strength and destruction. So it goes from, actually my Prezi here isn't quite correct. It goes from EF0 to EF5. EF0 is a very, very, very small tornado. EF5s are the strongest, cause the most damage. The wind's over 200 miles per hour. All right. But the nice part about tornadoes, if there is a nice part about tornadoes, they only last seconds to hours. Okay, they do not last very long, but they can cause severe destruction. Again, there's a little video you can check out a little bit later. Okay, hurricanes now. Hurricanes are different from tornadoes because they last for days to weeks. And if you remember your severe weather project, we talked about that a little bit at the beginning. They're huge storms that form over the ocean. Hurricanes, do not form over land. They form over the ocean. In fact, land is the worst enemy of a hurricane. It pretty much shuts it down very quickly. A couple things you need for a tornado or a hurricane. You need warm water. All right, so that's why they form usually in the late spring all the way through the fall, because that's the warmest part of our year in the northern hemisphere. And all of them, or the majority of them, form off the coast of Africa. Okay, they start off as what's called a tropical depression, just a cluster of storms over top of the ocean. And the wind in those storms is less than 39 miles per hour. So you may have heard people talk about a tropical storm. Well, tropical depressions, when they get stronger, become tropical storms. Once the wind reaches 39 miles an hour, they're now called a tropical storm. And another thing that happens when they are classified as a tropical storm, they get a name. All right, these storms are named when they become tropical storms. And then once that storm strengthens and gets to 74 mile an hour winds, now it's a hurricane. In fact, it's the weakest form of hurricane we can have, but it's a hurricane. The Saffir-Simpson is the scale that's used, not the Homer-Simpson scale. The Saffir-Simpson scale is used to measure its speed of wind. It goes from 1 to 5. Category 5 has winds of at least 156 miles per hour. So hurricanes pack some pretty good wind too, but not as strong wind as the most powerful tornadoes. Now, our hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean spin counterclockwise because of the rotation of the Earth. 4 things that cause damage in a hurricane. One is the heavy rain. That's what most people think of it is actually the most damaging thing, but it's not. It's not. It's called the storm surge. It's a wall of water pushed ashore by the wind. Think about if you take a bowl of water in your hand and then you blow on the bowl of water. You can actually push the water towards the edge of the bowl, and you can see it. It kind of rises up on the edge of the bowl. Think about that, but in an ocean with strong, strong wind. We get a lot of water pushed against the shore when a hurricane comes near it. It's called the storm surge. That's what does most of the damage. And we have high winds, and also inside hurricanes, you can actually have a tornado inside a hurricane. The calmest part of the hurricane is called the eye. Lots of people talk about the eye of the storm. The calmest is actually the eye is the calmest part of the storm. The strongest is around the eye, called the eye wall. So a lot of people think, if they're not paying attention, that when the eye wall comes through, when the eye of the storm is over top of your area near the coast, blue skies are out. The sun is shining. The wind is not blowing really much anymore. So people come out of their houses thinking it's over, but it's not, because it's a circle. And that circle is going to continue to move. And when the other part of the eye wall comes over top of your town, that's the strongest winds and rain again. So you're going to get hit again. Okay? Like I said, hurricanes are named. They go every single year. The first tropical storm of the year is started with the name of the person that starts with the letter A. Then we go B, C. It's in alphabetical order. Then we alternate between boys and girls. So one year, a boy's name would be the first, A. The next year, a girl's name with A. And it alternates back and forth. Now, if a hurricane is really, really strong and really, really dangerous, they retire the name of that hurricane. Okay, so in the past, there were Hurricane Marias and there were Hurricane Sandys in the past, but there won't be any longer because those storms have produced enough damage that they're now retired. And then they already have the names picked for 6 years. And then at the end of 6 years, they just recycle the names. If one gets used as a retired name, they'll put a new name in there. So here are some of the actual names of hurricanes. You might be able to find your name on here. Let's see what we got here. Should be loading up. There we go. Here are the names of the hurricanes. Starting with the 2020 season, which is right here. So the first one in 2020 is going to be named Arthur. Notice it's a boy's name. Then Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Edward. They're going to go all the way through alternating boys and girls. But look at 2021. 2021 now starts with an A, but it's a girl's name. So they'll alternate those. And after 2024, we go all the way back and we just start with the names again from 2019. 6 years, they rotate them all the way through. All right. And let's see what else we got on here. If you ever look at a weather map, right there's a symbol for a hurricane. Okay. There's a symbol for a hurricane on the weather map. And again, just a little video for you to watch if you want to. All right. And there's a difference. I don't know if you've heard on TV that we could have a tropical storm watch or a tropical storm warning or a severe thunderstorm watch or a severe thunderstorm warning. There is a difference. A watch means that it might occur. Conditions are favorable outside, that it could occur. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to occur, but it could. So get ready. All right. And a warning, a severe weather warning, means that it is going to happen in the next 48 hours. So you might have a thunderstorm. So if you have a severe thunderstorm warning, that means at some point in the next 48 hours there will be a severe thunderstorm. The conditions are already there, and it's going to happen. Okay. So that's the difference between a watch and a warning. And just a quick little thing about severe weather. All right. Now, I just wanted to go over that with you today. Again, just for something fun to do. And let's see if anybody has any questions. Am I supposed to still be here? Okay. Oh, Jarrett's here now too. All right. Sophia's here. Awesome. Kate's here. Man, we got a lot of people here. That's so cool. I'm so glad you guys are here. It's really awesome. It makes me happy. So how much damage do we have to produce to be retired? Ooh, that's a really good question, Torin. If it causes extensive damage where it's going to be in the millions or billions of dollars to fix, that's when they'll usually retire it. Not every hurricane. Every hurricane causes damage, but some of the ones that cause a lot of damage will be retired. I don't know the exact answer to that question. It's a really, really awesome question. So, really nice question. Let me just tell you a little bit about something I came up here that I thought maybe would be fun if you're looking for something to do or you just want something to have fun with. your family can do it too. Let me show you what I put in Schoology here. I put it as an assignment in today's folder, but it's not an assignment. It's just something to do if you want to, and I'll share them with people too. So if you look in this folder, there's a creative writing story. So here's my topic for today. I thought maybe it would be fun if we put in here, and like again, it's not a requirement. Here's the topic. Mash up 2 classic fairy tales into one story. So take 2 fairy tales, whichever ones you choose, mash them together into one story. Words you might want to use in there just for fun to see how we can all use them and how the stories are going to be different. Fireplace, sword, forest, 7, friendship, cardboard, giver, witch, and thunder. Why not? No length required. Just see if you're looking for something to do, creative writing. I thought that would be kind of fun. All right. So that's really all I have for today. I did send a long email, which obviously you guys got, with some other resources in there. So probably category 4, category 5. Yeah. When we get that high, those are probably going to be retired. So that's good. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to end this live stream really soon. Okay. But if you guys have questions, you can always send me an email. I'll be checking my email. I'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock. It's not always going to be a science stream. Might just be something fun one day. It could be other subjects too. All right. I see Essence is here. How you doing, Essence? Good, I hope. But yeah, guys, stay safe. This is all new to all of us. So we have the world's best people working on this, and it can be a little scary. I know that. But yeah, we're gonna go on. We're gonna have a schedule here, and I'm coming back every day at 3. If you want to tune in, go for it. If not, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. But I get it. All right, guys. Well, seriously, have a good night, and if you have any questions when this is over, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer those. All right, guys. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow, hopefully. All right. See you later.